Dokily. Good evening, heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practising Programming in C. We're going to continue with our stuff on Cinera. Today we're going to be doing the instance-wide search page. Before I'm going to dive into that, I might point out here that there's been a new episode of Risky Business. Risky Business Day 065, trying out Open SCAD, I guess you'd pronounce it. So the new episode of Risky Business. And if you are a patron of Mio's, you can get to the actual thing via this website here, guide.risky.tv. It is available early access on this website. You need to sign in with your Patreon in order to access it. So I'm currently not signed in myself, and I don't think I'll sign in here because I might expose some personal stuff. But yeah, needless to say, you can do that, and it's kind of handy that something that I wanted to mention anyway relates to this, because it gave me an excuse to actually mention it. And that is that we got a warning when we're doing it, and a particular. When I used to call them annotations, and I now call them indices. But whatever I call them, there was this warning that annotation data used 80.86% of its allotted memory. All that means is that when it's generating the thing, if you take a look at one of the annotations. It's basically probably this amount of information. So I think all of this information has to fit into an annotation data. I think that's what's going on there. Either that, or it's simply this information here. But whichever way it is, the buffer that I've allotted to this just wasn't sufficient. Well, it was just about, but it's getting a bit full. So what I'm going to do is go to Cinera.c, and I've already done it. I did do this for another one before reverting to save me having to update the actual thing. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, rather than doing that now, I'm actually going to make just a note, because I don't want to get in a situation where I've got a bigger buffer here on my local copy of Cinera. I happily write another set of indices, shoot past the buffer size for this thing without realising, without getting warned or anything like that, push it to this primary network, push it to guide.hamidhero or guide.risky.tv, and then it crashes their versions of Cinera. So yeah, I'm just going to leave a note. So this will be like one of the last things I do before I push this change. I'm just going to increase the annotation data thing. So yeah, this will all have to change at some point. It's a bit of a nightmare as to what I'm really doing. Again, I should mention that Cinera was my first project that I've ever done, first piece of C programming that I'd ever done that was anywhere near substantial. So I'm learning a bunch of stuff as I'm doing this. And I've had ideas since doing all of this stuff as to how I can do better. So we'll get to that at some point. But the immediate concern is to do the config stuff. and today it's the instance-wide search page. So here we have hero. If I just, yeah, in fact I need to actually have that up, don't I? So this is hero. We also have a page for risky. We probably also do have a page for the P, maybe. I guess we don't because there's no entries for it. But if I delete this, we see, oh yeah, chat could be there actually as well. So I can show you that. Well, actually bitwise isn't there. It's not there, well, I spelled it incorrectly. So there's bitwise. And then we've got chats. So this is Abner's chats. So there's all of these things in this same instance, and they have their own little area in here. Yeah, as I say, P. Yeah, it's just got no entries, so it just has generated a .html file. Something is definitely up with this mouse, by the way. I often get like double clicks of the back button. But what we'd like to do today, this instance-wide search page, is basically doing an index.html file in this. Well, it's in some location that I'm going to allow people to configure, and this index.html file is going to actually it's going to link to all of these people, basically. So that's what I'm going to try and move towards. So it's one of the DB things. So what version are we on? I think we're on version 5, are we? Or is it version 4? Yeah, there's version 5 coming in. DB header projects. Yeah, I think this would be the place to put it, I think. Just check what the note said. Adding that to the prod block struct. Yeah, which is this one. So let's add this. We're going to call it like a global. Let's call it a global search. And I'm also going to have to actually delete our metadata file. Max base tail length, max base URL length. Yeah, I think that would suffice. Unless we use the max relative base location length. Sorry, the max relative page location length. What is that exactly? That's 32. Well, the base dir length is larger. So, okay, let's just use this. Hopefully that'll be okay. Yeah, hopefully that'll be okay. And hopefully also the base dir length is even large enough. I mean, if it isn't, we'll just have to change it, won't we? But yeah, we've added to our thing here the global search dir and this global search URL. I also build in a debug mode, by the way, so it's not having to actually churn through that, optimizing it. Yeah, it's still taking 2 seconds. So yeah, we've got this global search dir. We need a way to configure it. So we need the init scope tree, is that what it's called? Init type specs. Right. And it'll be on the root. So yeah, indent annotator. I would like to change this annotator to be indexer actually. I think I might make a note of that. So what did we say it was? It was global search dir, wasn't it? Yeah, I've got the search location here. And that just modifies it from the base dir / base URL. Yeah, so we do have that idea of search location. Oh, I can't build this, can I? Well, maybe I can. How can I build that exactly? Where are we? Wait, this is not the right file, is it? Wait, where are we? Sorry, this is Cinera.c. So what is this? Oh, we aligned it. Is that right? So there's config.c been included. What is in this file? And yeah, this stuff is in here. So I suppose we put them in the Cinera.c file. Okay. What does true mean in this context? Singleton, if you're going to go one, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, there's an I in string. Okay, so let's just sort these guys. Now what do you need to do? I think you need a pass scope tree. Does that have to happen? Hang on, it's probably resolve variables actually, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. So config result. Yeah, it's going to be in the actual config itself. It's not going to be part of a project within the config. So yeah, I think that's true. The global search. And then if it finds it, it just stuffs that onto the thing, isn't it? Strip slashes. I assume that's right. See if this builds at all. It looks like it's building. So we've got that into the parse tree. Then, having parsed the config, I think we go back into the Cinera code, and where we do parse config, well, sorry, it's not that. It's when we do, so you get your config in like this. It's syncdb, isn't it? So this all happens. Where does the assets directory get set, I wonder? Here we go, it gets set here. So yes, it's going to be in here. We were saying in the projects block, weren't we? So the projects block count is going to be this. Increment in this number of the blocks. Yeah, okay. It's going to be the DB project block. And the global search there. I think that's correct. So this is just verifying, isn't it? I mean, I guess you could kind of argue that you add it to this header. Although this is only to do with, it's only to do with versions, isn't it? And identifying the thing as an actual Cinera file. So maybe it's fair enough to stick it in the project block, as the note had said. Alright, so we've got that. I think where are we exactly? Yeah, initdb. So syncdb then. Is there anything in here? That deals with the assets thing being moved? SyncDB with input is probably something to do with it. If the strings differ between that and that. Right. Where's the thing with the paths? When that change? Well, it's probably actually going to be called dir, isn't it? Is that right? Sort of seems like this isn't containing the stuff I was thinking of, actually. So that was syncdb with inputs. Sync project, set current project. Yeah, so that was the init assets. Would it be this? No. Let's take a close look at this syncdb. Basically, all I'm looking for here is the code that handles, like, it handles the modification of stuff. So, right. If I was to change like the base dir or the base URL or the search location or something, here we go, this looks like the code. Yeah, if we were to change it, we need to actually handle that change. So that's going to delete dead DB entries. So it starts off, it's sync DB with import. So you do all of this garbage, and then you do delete dead DB entries. So just all of this garbage. I mean, this is looking pretty similar, isn't it? I don't know, maybe there are differences. I think what I'll do is I'm going to do a to-do here. I mean, it's probably only the global search dir actually, isn't it? Because if the global search URL changes, I don't think we actually care. You see, like in this code here, we're only ever talking about the base dir. Right, we're never talking about the base URL, I don't think. Oh, well, apart from something here. Well, I guess we don't need to move any files around. I've got the neighborhood. I think the config is always available. I think. Yeah, I mean the config isn't passed to this function, and it's available to it. So yeah, that will be a global. we'll leave that as to do for now, and let's actually get the page actually generated. So is that going to generate search pages? Who calls this? Deleted or inserted. Recheck privacy. So yeah, here we go. It's probably the case, isn't it, that if we've got a global search dir, I guess we should also somehow make a rule in the config that if there is a global search dir, you must also have set a global search URL. Yeah, it zooms out variables. I thought it was. So if errors count, print session clashes. Free associations. I wonder if we mandate that there must be an assets root dir set. Just leave it here for now. Search to buffer. So that's taking the neighborhood. Stored P. And the collation buffers. For some reason. That is in a loop, isn't it? Yeah, generate search page. So it does it for the current project, and for all of its parents. So yeah, I feel like the neighborhood doesn't matter for our global search page. And since generate search page needs to take all this stuff, I reckon I'm entitled to say that we're making a new function here, generate global search page. Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable to me. Because all you need in order to produce one of these all you need to produce one of these is the hang on a sec. I might actually have to do this last. Well, no, because this is only, I suppose, if you look at it like the way that it's doing it, it's sort of doing the current project and then it's going up through its parents. Hang on a minute. Who's calling this? Recheck privacy. Sync DB with import. And this monitor, yeah. So it's not like a project specific thing. Yeah, I guess I was just saying, like, if we do it down here, it'd be a bit more, it'd just be the same kind of way that the other guys are happening. You know, like we're going current project, up to its parent, it's doing all of its parents, or what it's going, yeah, up through its parents and the parents of it. And then after having done that, it goes to see if it needs to generate the global search page, and if it does, then it does it. Well, actually, I could just yank the whole lot. So if it's not taking anything, it has to get the search location from the database. Right, probably, because the stored P is in the database. Right. So it might be reasonable to say that what we're talking about is the projects block. Global, what do you call it? Sorry, the global search. Dir. So this is expecting to be taking a P, isn't it? Well, hang on, what am I actually going to be doing here? I think actually all I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to end up passing just the page location, which just suggests, doesn't it? Rather than doing that garbage. I mean, where's this search? Where's that used? That's used only to generate that actual car. So let's, rather than doing that, how does this work? String. Yeah, I mean, maybe we do actually have to generate the string first. Bit of a roundabout way of doing it, but I think that's what you have to do. So that gives us the outward directory, make that. And then the problem here is search to buffer. Yeah, I got no end. So search path is that, index.html. Oh! Hang on a minute. Yeah, we do need the URL as well. So we can actually link back to this person. So yeah, they're saying search to buffer. There we go. That's what's going on here. Ah. So we're going to get to build up our thing. Oh yeah, we need to do this as well, don't we? Hopefully. I think we have just passed all of the generation stuff. Yeah, let's say that I have. So where's it actually getting the stuff from? So we've ended the script to the buffer. What is the B exactly? The B is just a buffer there. which is pointing to the collision buffer search. So there's the copying of this collision buffer search. Where the hell is that actually populated? That's what I want to know. So we're writing into the collision buffer search entry there. Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, it is actually right here, isn't it? So this is where it's actually writing into the search buffer. But where's all the stuff happening? Right? Where's all this happening? Oh, it's this, isn't it? So this is the results. Cinera index. Aha, and then it just appends that index. So the index gets built up. Yeah, it's going to be in here, isn't it? So if we're not the top level, DB header project. So yeah, I think probably what we have to do is loop over all of the projects doing this. Not exactly sure what it's not top level is supposed to mean. Who calls this? So two people call it. Who is this person that's calling it? Oh, it's itself. Right. So yeah, I think I understand what's basically going on here. This function gets called, it sets up the initial part of it, right? Is that right? Cinera index project. So I'm seeing that Cinera text occur multiple times. If it's not the top level, so yeah, if it's not the top level, or entry count is greater than 0, I am interested to know what the neighbourhood's for, the neighbourhood pointers. Oh yeah, the template might be different as well, actually. That's a good point, isn't it? Well, hang on. The template's dir. The I don't search template. Yeah, these templates. I think I need to do that actually. Global search template. Sadly. Well. Yeah, let's add it. And I think these guys just reside in the config. I think. So oh. So we've got separate things, have we? Separate templates for separate projects. I mean, okay then. So we need a global templates dir as well. I think I'm right in saying that we need this, by the way. Yeah, I'll just sort this. Oops. Just wondering if it makes sense to have separate project template directories. I don't know. I just do not know. Let's put these in alphabetical order. Well, are they in alphabetical order anyway? They kind of are, aren't they? Yeah, no, just the rest of this it doesn't like. So where's that resolve variables? Hang on a second, what is that abs all about? Root URL. What about the root? Yeah, that is an abs. Just have a quick gander at the resolve string. Config pair. Abs. What is it talking about? Why is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry, that's strip slashes. It's a relativity, yeah. So the CSS dir is relative. Okie dokie. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure whether that should be abs or rel actually. I think the dir should be abs actually. And then I think the template itself should be relative to the template's dir, I think. Now where's the ident template? Yeah, where's that resolved? Yeah, that is considered to be rel. So yeah, let's just follow their lead. So the template's dir is abs, and the search template itself is rel. Let's go with that. Let's just if zero some of this stuff out. Just see if it builds. It does build. So the template's there is only in the config. And yeah, like I say, like the template ain't, they don't reside in the database at all. Right, there's no mention. Just go to the DB actually. Right, so I'm in the database area here and I'm searching for template. Right, the first mention of template is down at line 1251. And we're up at 984. That's the end of the database. So yeah. The template only resides in the config for now. I think I've addressed everything they need to address in that thing. The whole point of that, by the way, was so that we can, I think I spotted that the generate search page, I thought it was taking a template. Or maybe generate search pages. No, it doesn't take a template either. So who know? How do you know what's cooking? Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, right. So it's within the P. That was the thing. I needed to be able to pass a template to the buffers to HTML function. So that was the point of all that lot. Oh, right, yeah, the thing is we also didn't actually pass it, did we? You know, because if we're going to have that thing, we're going to have to actually get the thing into the thing, aren't we? What is a project though? Is the project in the config? Yeah, it is. So the project is this. We know that the project is that. Oh, and it contains the actual templates also. Yeah. So I guess what this is sort of suggesting is we want to add a search template to the config. I reckon. Yeah, and I'm pretty confident that we do need this now that I've got to this stage. I think we do need a global search template, because if we didn't, we would be somehow having to rely on a project having a template and using that for the global things, which we cannot do. let's go and find our config structure. Yeah, I suppose now I think about it, actually, what is a template? Yeah, it's a template method. So just go back to the project. Okay, so it has got the search template path. So it keys them separately. And then it has this. Okay, fine. Actually, let's global templates dir, global search template path, let's call it. There we go. Now I think that was it, wasn't it? What has to happen before pack template? Push asset. I think it's just push config assets, isn't it? So they happen, I reckon. Then what I want to do is to pack that template. Is that right? We've got a dry run mode, have we? Forgot about that. Now, I'll just double check actually what this is even talking about. So there you have it. Yeah, this init template ain't gonna fly because it's gonna try and use the current project's HTML dir, or the current project's templates dir, to get the actual full file path. Is that type even being used? Yeah, it is, okay. So I think all it actually needs to be doing is calling init file So it's expecting a string 0, is it? Well, hold on. How do I actually do that then? Oh, sorry. It's an address to it. Yeah, I think that's fine. So it's a global search, it'll do that. Otherwise it'll just do whatever it needs to do. Reads that file to buffer, clears the template metadata, and then it'll proceed. Now, I think we need to, whenever we see template search, we need to say template search or template global search. So that seems to be it, doesn't it? Yeah, so these are the two types of player template. Where do those template gets freed? They don't get freed, is that right? Well, yeah, it's only if they're invalid. It's a private template. So yeah, I assume we don't bother to free them. They'll just get dealt with down here, I guess. I think it was the end project which gave us access to that template, wasn't it? The P-search thingy, yeah. Which means, doesn't it, that I would need to make this take. Well, it's the config, so the config itself is already global. Right. Yeah, I think we're going to need a different search to buffer function. Which is slightly unfortunate because it's a big function. Let's just see what it's actually being used for here. Okay, so the neighborhood is only being used to call update neighborhood pointers. The DB header project. Oops. So it sort of seems like a global search to buffer function should, I think, oh, maybe not actually. Yeah, we'll need a search to buffer function that doesn't actually allocate collation buffers, I think. I was going to say, a global search to buffer function is the one that just says loop over all the projects, loop over all the top level projects, calling search to buffer on them. But that ain't right, because this stuff only has to be written once. Is this using the old scheme? Well, I mean, we've got the closed nodes, yeah, so we've got this stuff happening here, but then for some reason this copy string to buffer is different. For some reason. See, unfortunately search to buffer is called by a bunch of people. Might be nice. If I could change the include search buffer to work in the same way as these things that get pushed on. You know, where you're opening nodes, appending strings, closing nodes. And I mean, even this sort of stuff could be nicer. Basically, all of this stuff is very explicit. Like you open a node and you close the nodes. Now, a node always has to be closed. So it might be nice if you could do like an open node and then just like append nodes to that node, just like you can do in JavaScript basically. So yeah, I think the task we're up to now, I think basically today we've just got ourselves reacquainted with the code a little bit. Just spotted that my webcam's moved again. So I don't want to be seeing the top of the bottom of the monitor particularly. This is a very delicate operation. Yeah, I think today we've just got ourselves reacquainted with the code. We've added the necessary variables in the config, and I think in the next stream I will get the thing actually doing what it needs to be doing, basically. Yeah, which is basically doing search to buffer on the top level thing. But because they're doing very similar things, it might be, it'd be nice to have just one function that does all of this stuff between the two different types of things. So yeah, I'll call it there. And I'm not sure whether I'll do one tomorrow. Possibly not. Possibly not even on Sunday either. So it might be Monday, the next one, or it might be Tuesday. We will see. But anyway, that is all for now. Thank you very much, heroes and heroines, for being here, for being beautiful, for being lawful, and what else? What have we doing? For being searching. Until next time. Farewell for now.